Arsenal did the most important move in the Premier League transfer window, most definitely with Declan Rice. The most expensive too. Declan Rice became the most expensive transfer going to Arsenal and leaving West Ham. He leaves West Ham as a champion of the Conference League with his head up high. He's a winner, and that's what Arsenal needs. Winners in midfield next to Odegaard and now Kai Havertz. I want to say, Arsenal in this transfer window, they were objective and they addressed their weaknesses. Arteta and Edu are doing a great job, and Timber, Havertz, and Declan Rice. That's 3 bold signings. It is just the start. Like, I'm mad. It's mad. It's mad. But it like this video, people, because Arsenal, they're going bold. And if you believe in Arsenal, we want to see the like goal going up if you believe in them.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just get this out of the way. Declan Rice has now joined the most expensive footballer 11 of all time. So now you've got at goalkeeper, you've got Kepa. In defense, you've got Lucas Hernandez, Harry Maguire, and Van Dijk and Hakimi. And there's an updated midfield now of Declan Rice, Enzo, and Antoine Griezmann. And up front, you've got Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, and João Felix.
Oh my gosh, where's Grealish and Bellingham? Oh my gosh, so many.
Yeah,
no, but it's true. It's
so many.
True.
It's a combined value of 1.1 billion. And now Declan Rice, he's going to have to put up or shut up when it comes down to this. And I don't know. The early odds, I think the early and overwhelming odds are that he is going to put up and he is going to take Arsenal to another level. What do you think?
I think I definitely agree with that. And what I like the most about this deal is Declan Rice was the best fit, not just for Arsenal, but for Declan Rice too. From the moment Chelsea bought Enzo, the best fit was Declan Rice. That position was to be filled. And with the Partey news too, like there was no doubts for Arteta and Edu. I think it was 11 months negotiating, and it makes complete sense. This is an England starter. He won the Conference League at West Ham, so he wins silverware, like European silverware at West Ham. He leaves as a legend there, and he wants to become an Arsenal legend too. Declan Rice understands the heritage of Arsenal, and that's why it's such a good fit. And even like transfers, we're mentioning these 3, but this summer, Arteta and Edu, they extended Saka. They extended Saliba. They extended Martinelli. And now they address these important positions, which were weaknesses in the past. Normal holding. We just got Timber. Levels. And 2, like the difference from a Man City and a Liverpool from Arsenal in the last 2 years was the world-class starters that they have. Now Arsenal can say, we've got Ramsdale, we've got Saliba, we've got Odegaard, we've got Saka, Declan Rice now. Like, world-class level players. And that's what they need to compete against Liverpool and Man City. So Arsenal and Arteta, first time in the Champions League since 2016, and that is what Arsenal need to make a deep run. Declan Rice, a leader, and something they needed at the end of this season, especially, in midfield. They felt that need to fill that. So I really had to say, Arsenal are going bold. And, like, my expectations for Arsenal is, if we see Kai Havertz at the start of the season balling out, similar like he did at Leverkusen, in a role in midfield, boy, oh boy, Arsenal are definitely going to be big competition for Man City to win the Premier League. And I'm excited to see, because it's all about Havertz. Because 65 million, that's a lot.
But listen, 65 million, but you're talking over what? Net 200 million already spent this summer? I understand that there are players that are still going to be leaving at some point, but when it comes down to it, for them to spend 200 million to finish second again is going to be pretty interesting if that is what in fact happens. Now, they actually have a Champions League campaign that they have to focus on. So the signing of Jurrien Timber is actually a whole lot bigger than people give it credit for, because he could play on either side as well as in central defense. But I still think there are weaknesses out there, right? Striker, people have worries about Gabby Jesus, right? People also have worries at fullback. Whether or not they address that is going to be relatively interesting. And then there's injuries, the age-old industry. But there's one big thing, and you mentioned it previously. This was a massive, massive statement of intent. Arsenal is moving into whatever this is now in his recovery process or his bring Arsenal to top process, Arteta that is. They've got to be in step 3 now, where they're attracting some of the Premier League, some of the world's best talent. They are still nurturing and bringing along. We got to remember how young Saka is, how young Martinelli is. One more season can mean a whole nother level for the two of them. But Arsenal is moving into a favorites to win it, or favorites to be favorites when it comes down to it in the Premier League. It's just Manchester City is still there at the top, beaming and delightfully laughing at the rest of the Premier League as they all struggle to contain and keep up with them. So I love it. I absolutely love it. But when it comes down to it, I need to understand what's your first choice midfield right now? Because when I'm looking at it, Declan Rice, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Martin Odegaard, and you've got Kai Havertz, maybe two advanced eights of some sort with a 6 in the back. But that seems
with no
Havertz
Xhaka,
really. Yeah, it seems a little bit like weak to me. Great on offense, but maybe a little weak, a little tough. I mean, it's gonna really fall on Declan Rice hard. I mean, hard.
I agree.
I think he's up to the task. But is that your first choice midfield right now?
My first choice midfield for next season for Arsenal is Declan Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard. Definitely in possession-based games. I do think they have to address another CDM. Okay, for Declan Rice to be next to him in certain games, like we saw at West Ham with Thomas Tuchel. But I think these should be the top 3 to start next season for Arsenal. I told you, Breton, it'll depend on how Havertz plays in this role, because it's clear intent, like you're saying, to sign him as such a specific type player that can play 9, can play 10, like very adaptable, but he needs to play the right way. But I want to say certain words, like these were words said by Declan Rice, and he said that Arteta is a top manager, and he was definitely a reason for him to sign for Arsenal. And that's the big difference right now. Arsenal right now have a world-class manager with Arteta established and seen as a world-class manager, but this season we'll have the confirmation of just that. If he has a Champions League deep run, or if he can lift the Premier League, because that would be very, very bold. But tell us in the comment section down below your expectations for Arsenal next season.